A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a rapid and decisive move, China has launched an investigation into Google and announced additional tariffs of 10 to 15% on a range of U.S. imports, including coal and natural gas, as part of its retaliation against the Trump administration's recent trade measures. This escalation in the ongoing trade war comes just minutes after the U.S. implemented a new 10% tariff on all Chinese imports, a decision that President Donald Trump justified as a response to China's involvement in the fentanyl crisis. The announcement from Beijing indicates a significant shift in the trade dynamics between the world's two largest economies, with China's retaliatory tariffs set to take effect on February 10th. This timeline suggests that discussions could be on the horizon between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. In a statement made in Washington prior to China's response, Trump expressed his intention to engage in talks with Xi, potentially within the next 24 hours. He emphasized the seriousness of the situation, stating, "If we can't make a deal with China, then the tariffs will be very, very substantial." Over the weekend, Trump confirmed his administration's plans to impose a 10% tariff on Chinese goods and a hefty 25% tariff on products from Canada and Mexico. However, he opted for a last-minute reprieve for Canada and Mexico in exchange for stricter controls on the fentanyl trade. This decision highlights the complexities and negotiations that characterize U.S. trade policy under the Trump administration. While the U.S. has taken a hardline stance, the Chinese government has called for dialogue, though it has yet to formally respond to Trump's overtures for talks. In a statement released on Tuesday, China's finance ministry outlined the specifics of the new tariffs, indicating a 15% duty on coal and liquefied natural gas, LNG, alongside a 10% tariff on crude oil, agricultural equipment, and certain vehicles from the U.S. In addition to the tariffs, Google has found itself under scrutiny as Chinese authorities announced an investigation into the tech giant for allegedly violating anti-monopoly laws. This investigation underscores the growing tensions surrounding technology and trade, particularly as Google remains blocked in China. Furthermore, the Chinese government has imposed additional export controls on critical minerals essential for high-tech industries, citing national security concerns. Two American companies, PVH Corp., the parent company of Calvin Klein, and biotechnology firm Illumina, have also been placed on a trade blacklist, further complicating the economic landscape. Experts have weighed in on the situation, with Dr. Alfred Wu from the National University of Singapore describing the circumstances as volatile and highly dependent on the forthcoming talks between Trump and Xi. Dr. Benjamin Ho, an assistant professor at Nanyang Technological University, noted that China's lack of immediate concessions is not surprising, given that Chinese leadership views the U.S. as being in the wrong and would not want to appear weak by accommodating Trump's demands. China has reiterated its position that the U.S. tariffs violate World Trade Organization (WTO) rules, pledging to file a formal legal suit in response. The Chinese Finance Ministry criticized the U.S. measures, stating, "It is not only unhelpful in solving its own problems, but also undermines the normal economic and trade cooperation between China and the U.S." This latest round of tariffs marks a revival of the trade war that began during Trump's first term, when he initiated tariffs on Chinese goods. Many of these tariffs have persisted and even expanded under the Biden administration. A so-called Phase 1 trade deal was reached between Trump and Xi in 2020, which included commitments from China to purchase an additional $200 billion worth of U.S. products in exchange for a rollback of some tariffs. However, these commitments have been widely viewed as unrealistic and were further complicated by the COVID-19 pandemic, leading to China's failure to meet them. As the trade tensions continue to escalate, both nations are navigating a complex landscape of economic interdependence and geopolitical rivalry. The coming days are critical, as the world watches to see if Trump and Xi can find common ground or if the trade war will intensify further. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.